So for the row machine, there's a few constituent parts. What we're going to talk about is just the leg drive component, then we'll talk about the spine movement, and then we'll talk about the arms separately. So you want to make sure that your feet are relatively well strapped into here. You want the ability to move, and I'll explain why in a second, but you also want the ability to pull yourself back. So you don't want them completely tight, because that can just feel uncomfortable on your foot. When you get to this end range of motion here, and you've reached the point where you're going to start coming back towards the start, you want the ability by pulling with your toes to bring you back to the beginning phase. Other than that, you're using your legs to push the seat away. You're using your hip flexors and your quads and your shin musculature to pull yourself back towards the starting point. With the spine and the hip musculature, you're going from a kind of forward flexed position. You don't really need to worry about a perfectly neutral spine position because it's not loaded vertically. So don't worry if you feel like when you're here towards the starting phase that you are in a rounded back position. It doesn't matter. When you initiate the push with your legs, the push with the legs comes first, and then from about here you're starting to open up the torso, and you end up leaning back a little bit, and you will use your hip flexors, your core musculature, your quads, and a little bit of your arms pulling back onto this to bring your torso back upright, and then you end up leaning forwards and a little bit rounded again. So it is a very holistically spine-based training activity as well, so bear that in mind. And then finally, the finishing component is the arms, just to get that last bit of acceleration into the row machine, and then you return in the same order that you went out in. So you return with the arms first, then with the torso coming like smudging in together towards the end, and then recover with your legs last. So it's legs, spine and arms, arm and spine, legs. So there's a lot of things that the Concept2 PM5 monitor can do that's way outside the scope of this video. We're just going to go through the basics, what the buttons do, so that you don't feel like a complete idiot if it's the first time that you're using it. So obviously you can select your workouts, you can just ski, you can connect, you can do all the memory related options. There's other functions as well, like games, but we don't need to worry about that. But if you just start using the piece of equipment, it'll automatically go to this screen here. So it'll just start recording your distance or your calories or your time. So if you click the menu button, it'll take you back to this phase where you can select your workout and you can do all the rest of it. Or you can click just ski, and with each of the units that it measures, there's a bunch of different displays that you can have, which will give you more information or less information based on what you want. If you click the units button, it'll change it from calories and your wattage. So the ones that we mainly use in the gym are calories and meters and time. So you don't really need to worry about the other ones, but obviously if you're more interested in this, then by all means go and do your own research and use the piece of equipment as you want. But the main ones that we use in the gym are calories, meters, and time.